Okay, so basically I've actually already recorded this video, but the audio just decided it didn't want to go in my favour. So yes, we are going to record this video again, and that is the Europa League tie. Arsenal won, Slavia Prague won at the Emirates, and just Arsenal doing typical Arsenal things. And as a Chelsea fan, of course, as you can clearly see by my jersey, I'm all for it. I really am all for this typical Arsenal thing of just, bottling every single thing that comes at them, especially after, the celebrations of that 86-minute winner by Nicolas Pepe, or so-called winner anyway. They celebrated like they'd scored against Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG or something like that, but that's fair enough, of course. It is kind of their level now, Europa League, Arsenal, and yeah, all of that, just to concede in the 94th minute to a scrappy corner, a scrappy header right into the back of the net, especially, after again that they absolutely dominated from start to finish in terms of possession, chances created, and pretty much everything else. But yeah, we're going to get into reacting to this game now, actually, giving my thoughts and opinions on not only this game, but overall where Arsenal go from this, and overall my opinions on Arsenal as an overall club and as a state at this moment in time, because I think Arsenal, even fans of Arsenal will actually agree with me in saying it's an absolute mess at this moment in time, Arsenal Football Club, and has been for a number of years now. But yeah, let's basically get into this video now. So starting off on the actual game, of course, I actually watched this game, and normally I don't actually watch that much Europa League football, besides the final and maybe even some of the semi-finals, because I just find the Europa League absolutely draining. Even when Chelsea were in it a few years back, I barely even watched, any of our matches unless I absolutely had to, because of course I am a Chelsea fan. I'm going to watch all our games, but I just sometimes couldn't watch myself to bring myself to actually watch the Chelsea matches in the Europa League, because it's such a draining, just dreary competition of absolute, mediocrity. I'm not going to lie. No offense to any of the teams that are in it, but you know what I mean. And yeah, Arsenal dominated the game from start to finish in terms of possession, chances created, etc. They really just couldn't quite get that final edge on Slavia Prague, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, missed a load of good chances, like Saka in the first half, who actually, was deemed offside, but actually was onside by the replay, so VAR probably would have intervened and, given it as a goal. So Saka, a really good chance missed. Lacazette early in the second half as well missed a really good chance where he hit the crossbar. I don't know how, still, at this moment in time talking, I don't know how he missed it, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, they still had a lot of good chances besides that as well. Slavia Prague really couldn't even get, really, at Arsenal's goal, bar maybe 2 or 3 half chances. And then, of course, in the 94th minute, they go and score, a scrappy goal in the last kick of the game, pretty much. After Nicolas Pepe, I'm not going to lie, I have been a big critic of Pepe on this channel, but it was a really well taken goal to show the hunger and the desire and just the will and the strength to get past his man, and a little cheeky dink finish over the goalkeeper. Really cute finish and a really good goal. And at that stage, it looked like Arsenal, okay, they've got the job done now in the first leg. They can go to Prague, needing, if they get a clean sheet, they can go through, and, all they need to do really is just, better the number of goals Slavia Prague do score. But at the end of the day, now they have got themselves a bit of an uphill battle, because, of course, if Slavia Prague do keep a clean sheet in the second leg, they do go through. They do progress to the semi-finals of the Europa League, if that does happen, because the dreaded away goal rule, there's a lot of controversy over it recently, over whether it actually should be, implemented into football or not. But nevertheless, the away goal is absolutely crucial for Slavia Prague and does set them up massively on the way to the semi-finals, with a famous victory over Arsenal potentially on the cards in Prague in the second leg next Thursday. But yeah, in terms of the overall actual performance from Arsenal, I just want to say as well that I thought the passing was just really bad from Arsenal tonight, and it was similar to the game against, Liverpool on Saturday, I think it was. The passing for Arsenal was dreadful, with the likes of Cedric, Bellerin, Willian, even Thomas Partey, who of course has been, probably one of Arsenal's best players when he has played this season. The passing was extremely poor. I mean, there was times when, they're trying to switch the play or pass the ball out to a guy on the wing, and it just goes completely out of play. And then even still, when the kind of close-knit passing, where they're trying to do 1 or 2 touch passing, just completely, messed up from their point of view. And yeah, really poor passing from Arsenal. I thought that the actual centre-backs from Gabriel and Rob Holding, I thought were actually fairly decent in defensive. I actually thought they were fairly decent in terms of contributing to actually going forward as well from transition. Even though Slavia Prague didn't have many chances, I think that Gabriel and Holding were one of the main reasons why Slavia Prague didn't have that many chances. I think the wing-backs in Cedric and Hector Bellerin were just dreadful. I mean, Cedric especially was really bad. He couldn't string a pass together. He was dribbling the ball out of play. Sometimes when he got it, it was really bad from him. Hector Bellerin, a player that I've really not rated for a while now, even though I used to rate Hector Bellerin quite highly. He's just not a footballer, is he? He doesn't have a football brain whatsoever, and I think you've seen multiple, if not all Arsenal fans at this moment in time, stating that, because Bellerin really doesn't have a football brain. There'll be times when he's running down the line, and instead of, trying to go one way and shift to the other last minute, he'll just run straight down there, as predictable as ever, literally lining up to pass to that player beside him, and you literally do it, which is easily readable. But yeah, he doesn't have a football brain whatsoever. Thomas Partey as well, as I mentioned just there, was absolutely dreadful today. Couldn't string a pass together, just looked like a passenger out there, really. I'm not going to lie. tie. The front three as well of Willian, Lacazette, and who was it? Willian, Lacazette, and Saka, of course. Saka was decent enough in going forward and trying to create stuff, but overall just wasn't really getting anywhere. Willian, I thought, was okay in stints, but it was that thing once again. We're used to it, Chelsea fans. He gets around his man, and then it's that final ball which just really doesn't do it for him. And Lacazette was almost playing like a holding midfielder tonight. He really was. He was dropping so deep, and I can understand that role because he has kind of, implemented his game and reinvigorated himself as this kind of deep-lying link-up striker. But yeah, he was dropping way too deep and couldn't really, get that many chances. And even still, I still can't understand how he missed that one right at the start of the second half. And yeah, in terms of Arsenal overall as a club at this moment in time, and in terms of the actual squad and team they do have, one thing that, you definitely, I don't think anyway, you can blame Mikel Arteta for to a certain extent is the fact that this team is not good enough. It really isn't, and I think Arsenal fans will definitely agree with that. I mean, they just have a mid-table level squad, Arsenal. They really do. I mean, bar a few names like, of course, Thomas Partey, who was a decent player, Gabriel, who looks like a decent centre-back, Aubameyang and Lacazette, even though they're misfiring at the moment, Saka, a really bright young prospect. So I think that there is certain players there to build around, but overall, the foundations there at Arsenal aren't strong enough. They're a mess of a club at boardroom level. Of course, the owners, the lack of will to spend money, and even still when they do spend money, they seem to spend it really wildly and rashly, if I'm honest, if rashly is even the word, but we're going to go with it. And yeah, Arsenal as a club at the moment and for the last few years have been an absolute mess. It's going to take them a good few years to get out of it, and to be honest, I can see them coming mid-table a lot more in the next, like 3 to 5 years with the way they're going at the moment and the squad they do have. But yeah, another thing about Arsenal as well that you definitely probably have to shoulder, Mikel Arteta some of the blame for this, is the style of football they do play, which of course can be decent at times and can get good results. And to be fair, Mikel Arteta at Arsenal has had a pretty decent record against some of the big teams in the league, and yeah, I think you've definitely seen though in the last few weeks especially how Arsenal are a team that play the ball sideways and backwards quite a bit. I mean, if you watch Arsenal play like I did tonight, passing, sideways and backwards most of the time, it's really uninspiring, if I'm honest. And yeah, they definitely do need to sort that out and actually start playing more forward thinking, actually trying to get players on the break and trying to actually attack teams more. But yeah, overall, we'll see what happens now in the second leg next Thursday. I might watch it, although I might not, because it depends really what mood I'm in, because Europa League football, as I said, just completely uninspiring, and thank God we're not going to be in that next season. I mean, hopefully anyway, we're not going to be in that next season. God, I don't want to jinx it, because yeah, it's the worst competition, I think. It's the worst season I've ever had to endure as a Chelsea fan when we were in that Europa League. It was so draining, but nevertheless, I've gone on a bit of a tangent. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next Thursday in that Europa League clash between Arsenal and Slavia Prague, because of course, as I said, Slavia Prague only need a clean sheet. They don't need to concede a goal, and they're through to the semi-finals with a famous potential victory over Arsenal in Prague. But nevertheless, that's where we're going to leave this video. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on the video, because it means absolutely more to me than you guys could ever imagine. It helps me massively in getting this channel discovered and this video discovered in the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you could subscribe to the channel as well, that would be massively, hugely appreciated by myself, because we are looking to hit 1.6k subscribers on this channel as soon as we bloody well possibly can. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you very much for watching this video, and yeah, see ya.